part of a managed complex, so meaning I don't handle bookings or guests. I live here when I want, and it earns for me when I'm gone. That's not wealth, it's called balance. So, would you rather buy a flat in traffic or home under palm trees? Drop your answer in the comments. So, I didn't buy a villa. I bought a mornings, a piece, a view to the ocean. And you know what? Actually, I bought it's not walls, mornings like this. So I wake up to sunlight, grab a smoothie, work from my cafe with ocean breeze. And when I fly home, my house here keeps earning quietly in the backgrounds. That's the real definition of freedom. So, and follow for more Bali mornings. And I hope you are still here, guys, because I have a lot of interesting for you. So this place paid for itself. So here is a wild thought: this villa literally paid for itself and bought for 107,500 euros, rented for about 150 euros per night. Families, nomads, travelers, it's almost always booked. In just a couple of years, the rental income covers the full cost. And now it's just pure joy and extra income. So, would you live here or rent it out full time? Drop your comments below. So, people said that I was crazy to move here. And when I told them I was moving to Bali, they said I'd get bored in a month. And now it's been 2 years and I still wake up amazed. This place gives you peace, nature, good food, and community. And somehow my living costs are lower than they were in Europe. You say crazy? Maybe. Worth it? Absolutely. So tap like if you'd rather hear birds than alarms. So the quiet side of Bali, it's no one talks about. So forget the crowds. This is Sanur, the calm side of Bali. Here mornings are slow, beaches are quiet, and families actually live year round. And with the new health and wellness zone coming, the area is growing really fast. It's not chaos, it's calm with purpose. So, would you choose sunrise or sunset beaches? Drop your answer in the comments. And what is interesting, it's not a dream, it's a calculation. So people say Bali living is a dream. I say it's just simple math. So for example, yeah, so pay around 107,000 euros for a home here and rent it for 150 euros per night. Even at 70% occupancy, it pays itself off in a few years. And while that happens, you get to live in paradise. So guys, follow for more real stories. No fantasy, just logic with sunlight. So I really replace my office view with this. I used to stare at a computer screen all day. Now I look at palm trees between calls. And same job, just different surroundings. Co-working by the beach, calls under the sun, and time to actually breathe. Work still gets done, but now it feels lighter, calmer. So would you better with this view or something else with a city view? Drop your answer in the comments. And this was the best decision I ever made. Buying a place in Bali wasn't impulsive, it was intentional. So I exactly know what I'm doing. I wanted more time, more calm, more mornings that didn't start with traffic. Now I have a villa that gives me a lot of that and covers its own costs. It's not about escape, it's about living differently. So follow for more moments that make life and make sense. And here I live in Sanur, and let's begin with something that feels almost sacred here: mornings. So, here in Sanur, it's a quiet spot on Bali's eastern coast, and honestly, mornings here have their own kind of magic. When the sun rises, it doesn't rush, it stretches gently across the sky, painting the ocean in gold. The water is calm, like glass. You'll see kids playing in the shallows while their parents sip coffee at a little beachfront cafes. Locals jog past with that easy island smile, and cyclists glide by on the long promenade. Everything feels unhurried, peaceful. The mornings here don't demand your time, they give it back to you. The first sip of coffee hits different when the ocean's your backdrop. Most days I'm up early, barefoot on the terrace, tea in hand, listening to the world wake up. Sometimes I wander down to the beach just to watch the horizon turn pink. Other days I meet friends for sunrise yoga or a quiet swim before work. It's the kind of star that resets your entire rhythm. Once you felt the idea of rushing through a gray morning commute feels almost unreal. So tell me, are you the kind who greet the sunrise or stays wrapped in the sheets a little longer? Drop your emoji in the chat. So when I first landed in Bali, I wasn't chasing a new life. I just wanted a change of scenery. No plans, no big decisions, just me, a scooter, and a lot of curiosity. I started exploring different towns, beaches, neighborhoods, and one afternoon I stumbled across this small apartment for sale, around 30,000 euro, bright, airy, 5 minutes from the ocean. A tiny balcony, sunshine streaming in, the sound of waves not far away. I remember laughing out loud because it cost less than a one bedroom in Warsaw or Lviv. Unreal. That would be a scrap flat in Europe. Here was sunlight, palm trees, and ocean air. Of course, my brain couldn't help it. I started running the numbers in my head, not in a spreadsheet investor way, just pure curiosity. If someone rented this out, how long would it take to cover the price? And that's when I learned the wild part. Places like this rent for 800, 1000 euro a month. Because here people never stop coming. Surfers, families, digital nomads, dreamers. The island is full all year long. So, quick poll. How many years do you think it would take for a place like that to pay for itself? Drop your numbers in the comments. And then I made the mistake of going to Seville. 150,000 euros, two bedrooms, an open air kitchen, a pool that mirrored the palm trees above. I walked through barefoot thinking, this doesn't even feel real. It was an investment tour. It felt like walking into the life I didn't know I wanted. And when I asked around, I found out something that made it even crazier. Villas like that ran out for 100, 150 euros a night. That's about 25, 30,000 euro a year if you keep it booked. And what started as a walk out of curiosity suddenly felt like a glimpse into an entirely different kind of life. So when people hear a home in Bali, they usually imagine something unreachable: palm trees, infinity pools, movie scenes. But the truth is, it's often simpler and more realistic than many think. Take this project you see behind me. It's a brand new complex, bright, stylish villa just a few minutes from the beach. The total price around 100,500 euros. That's less than what some people pay for a small city apartment in Europe. But here you get a full home, surrounded by greenery, sunlight, and calm. Now, what really makes this interesting is how the process works. You don't have to pay anything at once. It's split into stages over time. So here how it goes. When you sign, the first payment is 32,250 euros. Then around November 2025, another 21,500 euros covers the foundation work. And later during middle 2026, about 11,250 euros goes toward building the main structure. And by 2027, you already receive your keys. Your villa is ready. But here is where it gets even better. The remaining 42,500 euros doesn't come out of your pocket all at once. That part is gradually covered through rental income once your home is operating. Basically, while you're enjoying your winters here or even living somewhere else, your place quietly pays itself off in about 2 years. And after that, everything it earns goes straight to you. The bad thing is you don't have to manage a single thing. The management team handles guests, cleaning, check-ins, even reports. You can be thousands of kilometers away and still see your property working for you. So imagine this rhythm. You spend 3 or 4 months in Bali, bare food, mornings, slow coffee, ocean breeze. Then you fly back home, and while you're living your usual life, your Bali home continues to host guests and bring income. It's not about owning property, it's about creating balance. That's the quiet secret here. It's not complicated. It's just a new way of living, one that gives you sunlight, freedom, and a peace of mind. So, and it's not just business, so it's personal, it's your own rhythm of life. So, guys, just to remind you, the life is all about balance. Real life, real homes, and how they can quietly support you when you're not here. Here's what I found most beautiful. People who buy homes here don't do it like they are buying stocks. It's not a cold calculation, it's personal. They want to be here, even if just for a few months each year. Your villa becomes your winter escape and your summer side hustle. Some decorate their apartments exactly how they like. Get to know the neighborhood's cafes. Have their "this is my sunset spot." Others go for villas with pools, outdoor kitchens, fancy painting in the garden. Other way, it's not just real estate. It's their belly, their corner of the world. And when they are away, they don't let it sit empty. Travelers come, stay a few weeks, fall in love with the space, leave glowing reviews, because these places are cared for like homes, not managed like faceless hotels. And the system here makes it easy. Property managers, cleaners, photographers, maintenance team, the entire ecosystem already exists. You can live in Europe while your belly home quietly runs itself. So, if you had a place here, would you keep it private or rent it out while you're away? Drop your answers below. And for many people, this is not an investment, it's a living dream that sustains itself. So, today I've got something really exciting to show you, a new modern complex right here in Bali. So, you can already see it behind me. Sunlight, palm trees, calm air, and these beautiful villas that somehow make everyday life feel like a vacation. You know, so many people talk about Bali as a dream destination, but what if it didn't have to be someday? What if you could start small with a place that's truly yours, that you can enjoy for a few months each year and that quietly pays for itself when you're not here? Let's break down how it actually works. This whole project is built around one idea: smart living in Bali. Modern homes that mix comfort, design, and simplicity. The entire process from building to maintenance is handled by professionals. You don't need to manage anything yourself. You show up, unlock the door, and enjoy your place. And when you're away, your home is not empty. It's alive. It welcomes travelers, families, remote workers, people who come to Bali all year long. Here's what I like about it. Everything is already planned out. You don't build from scratch. You simply join something that's running smoothly. There are two easy paths. You can either pay gradually while it's being built or make a one-time payment when it's ready. And the best part, when the home is finished, it immediately starts earning. The rental income covers its own cost over time. It's not about chasing profit, it's about balance, living smarter, calmer, and freer. Take a look at the visual behind me. It's all transparent, stage by stage. Foundation work starts end of 2025. The main structure is ready by middle 2026, and by 2027 owners are already moving in. Everything follows a clear schedule. No chaos. No, we will see what happens. So when the villa are finished, they immediately start working. So guests come, families, long stay travelers, people escaping winter. So they stays cover the remaining payment automatically. And once that's done, your property simply starts earning for you. So how it's managed? You don't have to be here full time to make it work. The same team that built the complex takes care of everything. So bookings, cleaning, maintenance, guest supports, even reports. So when you do arrive in Bali, your home's already spotless, comfortable and ready. No stress, no calls, just you, your coffee, and the sounds of the ocean. Why it makes sense? Here's the thing, Bali is not just another tropical postcard. It's one of the most visited islands in the world, and not just for vacations. There is a constant flow of digital nomads, families, creatives, and wellness travelers. That's why these homes rarely stay empty. There's always someone who wants a bit of sun and simplicity instead of gray skies and traffic. With proper management, it's not just a place to stay, it's a peace of mind. So picture this, you spend your winters here, morning light, palm trees, breakfast by the pool. Then you fly back home for the summer, and while you're away, your home keeps working quietly in the background. And when you come back, it's all still yours, familiar, warm, alive. That's what I love most about this. It's not about chasing a fantasy, it's about building a rhythm that actually makes sense. One that blends comfort, freedom, and stability. So, what is interesting here? It's people. So, guys, if you just joined, welcome. We are talking about life in Bali, beautiful villas, cozy apartment, and how people here earn even while they're away. So I talk about underrated treasure of Bali, the people. Designers from Berlin, entrepreneurs from Sydney, yoga teachers from Brazil, filmmakers from Paris, all sitting in the same cafe swapping stories. In Bali, friendships find you. Half the cafe has softboards, the other half has laptops. Here, conversations aren't just about work or weather. You talk about ideas, lifestyles, spirituality, adventures. You make genuine friends in unexpected places. Sunrise yoga, co-working tables, beach walks. If you could meet inspiring people over coffee, who would they be? Drop their country or vibe in the chart. And the best part, No one cares about titles. You can act as human first. That kind of environment changes how you see the world. So let's be real for a moment. Bali can be expensive if you're chasing that influencer fantasy with private villas, jeeps, and endless beach clubs. But that's just one version of the island. The truth, you can live incredibly well here without overspending. Bali is not expensive, it's adaptable. Here, your quality of life doesn't demand on how much you spend. Let me show you what a normal month actually looks like. Scooter, around 60 € a month, and it's your ticket to freedom. Fresh lunch, 4 or 5 € for grilled fish, veggies, rice, and maybe even a smoothie on the side. Great coffee, 2 €, often with a sea view. Housing, modern apartment or villa, often with a pool for less than what you paid for a small flat in Europe. And the best part, you're not cutting corners, you're just living slower, healthier, calmer. You wake up to sunlight, eat food that actually tastes alive, spend more time outdoors, and somehow your days start to feel longer. Back in Europe, I used to feel like I was working just to afford breathing space. Here, I finally have it. So tell me, how much does a good coffee cost where you live? Drop it in the chart. I'm genuinely curious because once you realize how far your money stretches here, you stop chasing more and start appreciating enough. That's the quiet abundance Bali gives you, and it makes life feel richer in every sense of the word. This is honestly one of my favorite things about living here. Bali fits you, not the other way around. You don't have to choose one type of life. You can live in a bright little studio tucked between cafes and yoga spots, a modern apartment with a rooftop pool and ocean views, a quiet bungalow surrounded by rice fields and sound of frogs at night, or a spacious villa with a garden full of palm trees swaying in the warm wind. From Pinterest perfect villa to simple, soulful studios, Bali has your own rhythm. Here, your home doesn't just shelter you, it becomes part of your story. And the best part, most places come fully furnished and move in ready. No assembling furniture at midnight, no endless store trips. You arrive, unpack, maybe light a candle, and instantly it feels like home. Some people choose to stay by the ocean for morning swims, others move inland for quiet sunsets over the fields. There is no right balance, there is just the one that matches your energy. So tell me, what's your dream setup? Drop emoji for apartment, for villa, or for bungalow in the comments. I would love to see them all. So people always ask, where should I live? Honestly, the island chooses you. There is no best area in Bali, only the one that feels like home to you. Bali is like a playlist. Every area has its own rhythm. Kangoo, creative energy, surfing, cafes, nightlife. Ubud, spiritual artistic quiet. Sanur, sunrise beaches, calm seas, families, a new hospital coming soon. Uluwatu, epic sunset, cliffs, villas. Jimbaran, seafood at sunset, quiet. Denpasar, local daily life. So, which one's calling you guys? Drop emoji for the city. And it's better for spend a few days in each. One morning you wake up and just know this is it. Alright, let's switch gears a little and talk about the things you don't expect Bali to teach you. Bali gives you a lesson you never signed up for but end up loving. So, if you leave your phone alone here, the monkeys might just think it's theirs. Yes, I learned that one personally. I left my phone on the table at the beach cafe for literally 3 seconds. And next thing I know, A cheeky monkey swoops in like it's Mission Impossible, grabbed the phone and climbed up a tree. The whole cafe turned into an audience. I had to negotiate with a banana to get my phone back. Zero regrets, maximum entertainment. And also, you pick up scooter skills way faster than you'd think. You learn that flip flops are legitimate footwear for almost any occasion. And sunset time, that's a secret daily ritual. Everyone stops, heads to the shore, and watch the sky melt into pink and oranges together. Chat time. What the funniest or strangest travel experience you've ever had? I want to hear your stories. But honestly, the biggest lesson, you stop sprinting. Life moves at a slower rhythm here. But somehow everything still gets done. Ballet doesn't just change your plans, it rewrites your pace. Let me tell you a little personal story. The one where everything shifted. When I arrived, I wasn't house hunting. I wasn't chasing the dream. I just wanted some sun, peace, and to give my mind a breather. I didn't come looking for a house. I came searching for feeling. And one day during a casual walk, I passed by this small apartment around 60,000 euros, 5 minutes from the ocean. It had these bright rooms, a little balcony, and I could hear the waves if I stood quiet. It wasn't fancy, it was real, and it was cheaper than most one bedrooms in Berlin or Warsaw. I stood there thinking, this could actually work. Then my inner mathematician kicked in. How long would it take to cover the price with rent? Turns out places like that easily rent for 800 1,000 euro a month, year round. Demand doesn't sleep here. So guessing game, how many years do you think it takes for a place like that to pay itself off? Drop your guess in chart. And a few days later, I toured a villa, around 150,000 euros. Two bedrooms, palm trees swaying over a crystal pool, an open air kitchen where you can cook barefoot. It felt like stepping into a daydream. It wasn't just a viewing, it felt like walking through a version of life I didn't know I wanted. On Airbnb, similar villa rent for 800 150 per night, around 25-30,000 euros annually if booked consistently. Not bad for something that also gives you endless sunset. And daily life, surprisingly practical. Scooter, 60 euro a month. Healthy lunch, 5 euros. Great coffee, 2 euros. Compare that to Paris or Amsterdam. And well, you see the difference. So guys, how much does a good cappuccino cost where you live? I'm curious. Type in the comments. And what really won me over, though, was the variety of got. Airy studios, big windows, jungle bungalows, modern apartment near co-working hubs, full villas with gardens and yoga decks. One of my friends bought a villa for 250,000 euros. He lives here part-time, rented the rest, and recouped the cost in around 6 years. But for both of us, this wasn't a numbers game. It was about having a place that feels like home. So if you had 200,000 euros right now, would you go for a villa by the sea or keep it in the bank? Type villa or bank. And honestly, the community sealed the deal. You grab a coffee, and next to you is someone built a startup, a yoga teacher, a remote designer. It happens organically. No name tags, just life intersecting. So remote workers, raise your hands. Who could imagine working here part-time? It wasn't about buying property. It was about finding a space where my soul exhaled. Let's get a little perspective for a second. Because honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. For the price of a tiny one-room flat in Europe, you could be living in a full-belly villa with your own pool, garden, and a palm trees swaying outside your window. What a 100,000 euros buys you in Paris? A studio. What it buys you in Bali? A life that feels like vacation. And it's not just about property. Everyday life tells the same story. In Amsterdam or London, €10 barely covers a coffee and a croissant. In Bali, €10 gets you a smoothie bowl, a fresh juice, and a full lunch overlooking the ocean. Transport, groceries, cafes, wellness, it all goes further here. But what really matters is not just what you spend less on, it's what you get more of. More time, more sunlight, more balance. Here, your money doesn't just buy things, it buys freedom. You stop counting days until the next holiday because your daily life already feels like one. So, I'm curious, where are you watching from, guys? What does €10 get you there? Drop in the chart your answers. And this part still makes me grin every time I think about it. Because honestly, I didn't plan any of this. I wasn't searching for tropical investment. The island kind of just found me. One afternoon, I walked past a sign €60,000 bright apartment, 5 minutes from the beach. Out of curiosity, I went to see it. Sunlit living room, tiny balcony with palm shadows dancing across the walls. And I literally laughed because my friend in Gorsha was paying more for a grey apartment with zero palm trees and an eternal view of rain. He bought a skyline of clouds, and I found sunlight for less. And what amazed me even more was how simple the math was. Places like that doesn't sit empty. They rent easily for 800 €1,000 per month all year round. There is always someone looking for a place to stay. Digital nomads, long-term travelers, families escaping winter. Then came the villa moment. I stepped through a gate and there it was. 150,000, two bedrooms, an open-air kitchen and a pool reflecting palm leaves like a postcard brought to life. The agent said it runs for 100, €150 a night, bringing in around 25, 30,000 euros a year. And honestly, standing there barefoot, hearing the breeze and distant waves, it didn't feel like a sales pitch. It felt like possibility, the kind that sneaks up on you when life shows down just enough to notice it. It wasn't a dream home of Pinterest. It was real and I was standing in it. So today I want to show you something special. This beautiful villa right here in Bali that you can see already behind me. Palm trees, open space, sound of the ocean, private pool, somewhere close. And what's even more interesting is how people make homes like this work for them. You know, most people dream about having a place on the island one day. But if it didn't have to stay a dream, what if for about the price of a small apartment in Warsaw, you could actually own something like this? That not only brings you joy, but quietly supports you when you're away. Let's walk you through what that really looks like. A real example. This villa you see now costs about 107,500 euros in total. It's part of a modern residential complex. Bright, minimalistic design, lots of glass, private pool, and just a few minutes from the beach. Basically, everything people imagine when you think Bali life. And the best part is you don't need to pay everything at once. The process is simple and transparent. Step by step payments. So here how it works. The first payment, 32,250 euros, is made when you sign the contract. So and another at November 2025, you add 21,500 euros, and that covers the foundation stage. And during middle 2026, when the main structure goes up, you contribute another 11,250 euros. And by early 2027, construction is complete, and you get your keys. Everything is organized in stages. No rush, no chaos, no guesswork. Here's where it gets really interesting. The remaining 42,500 euros is not something you have to pull from your savings. The part is gradually covered by the villa itself. through short-term or long-term rentals once it's finished. So while you spend part of the year living here, enjoying warm mornings, slow breakfasts, maybe working remotely, your home continues to host travelers, families, and digital nomads while you're away. In just about 2 years, it covers its own cost. And from then on, what it earns simply becomes your extra income. And the best part, you don't have to manage a single thing yourself. The same professional team that built this complex takes care of everything: bookings, cleaning, maintenance, check ins, guest service, and even detailed reports. You can be anywhere in the world and still see your belly home working quietly for you. And when you return, it's spotless, welcoming, and ready. Bali is not just about palm trees and beaches, it's one of the most visited islands in the world. There is always someone looking for a warm place to stay: families, digital nomads, couples, and wellness travelers. That's why homes like this rarely stay empty. So you're not chasing between business and lifestyle. You're creating both: comfort for yourself and stability for the rest of the year. So imagine this rhythm. You spend your winters here: barefoot mornings, light rain that lasts 10 minutes, work calls with an ocean breeze. Then you fly home for summer, and while you're living your usual life, your villa keeps working quietly in the backgrounds. That's the beauty of Bali. Your home doesn't just belong to you, it lives with you even when you're away. So stay tuned. I'll show you more of this place in a moment: the interiors, the neighborhood, and how this exact villa became part of my daily rhythm. This is Bali: sunlight, calm, and home that truly takes care of you. So, can you even imagine this? Because honestly, sometimes I still can't. Look, this is a resort. This is not a hotel. It's an actual home. A private villa right here in Bali. Sunlight, palm trees, your own pool, and the crazy part, it costs around 107,500 euros. That's less than what people pay for a small grey apartment somewhere in Europe, with no palm trees, no ocean, and definitely no mornings breeze like this. For the price of a one-bedroom flat, you could literally wake up here. And what's even better, you don't have to pay all at once. Everything is structured clearly, step by step. Here how it goes. When you sign, you start with 32,250 euros. Then around November 2025, you add 21,500 euros when the foundation is complete. And by middle 2026, when the main structure rises, it's 11,250 euros. And finally, by early 2027, you get your keys and walk into this. Now here is the best part. The final part of the cost, around 42,500 euros, doesn't come out of your pocket. The villa itself starts covering it once it's finished. How? Through rental income. Families, digital nomads, travelers, the people who feel Bali every single month of the year. While you live your life, your home here works quietly in the backgrounds. And you don't have to do a thing. The same team that built this complex take care of everything: bookings, maintenance, cleaning, check-ins. You just open your app, see the reports, and know everything's running smoothly. Let's be real, that is not just some tropical fantasy. This is a working, real-life rhythm people have already figured out. Spend your winters here: barefoot mornings, calm energy, coffee by the pool. Fly home for summer and your villa keeps working. And when you come back, it's waiting for you. Spotless, peaceful, and yours. So yeah, imagine this being your morning view. Because for the same price as an average city flat, this could actually be your life. Some people buy square meters, others buy mornings like this. So stay with me. I'll walk you inside this villa and show you what living here really feels like. Okay, let's get real for a moment, because not everything in Bali is golden sunset and smoothie bowls. Yes, it's paradise, but it's real life too. And there are a few things I genuinely wish someone had told me before I came. Even paradise has Wi-Fi hiccups sometimes. The rainy season is absolutely real. It doesn't ruin the magic, far from it, but it does require a little flexibility. One minute you're walking under blue skies, and the next you're caught in a sudden tropical downpour that feels like someone turned on a warm shower above your head. The trick: always keep a poncho in your scooter or bag, and embrace the unpredictability instead of fighting it. Rain here often passes quickly, leaving behind lush greenery and cooler air. So if you have never driven a scooter before, this will be your new rite of passage. At first it feels awkward and maybe a little intimidating, but give it a week and it becomes second nature. The freedom of zipping through palm-lined streets or catching the sunrise on a morning's ride is something you can't put into words. The Wi-Fi in most places is strong enough for remote work, but Bell is not completely immune to outages, so you have to get a plan B. Having a local SIM card with a hotspot data is a lifesaver, especially if your work depends on a stable internet. It's a simple fix that saves a lot of time. So Bell is alive, literally. Geckos, frogs, and the occasional curious bug might find their way into your home. At first, it can be surprising, but you quickly learn that these little creatures are just part of the ecosystem here. And geckos, they are actually help keep insects away. So they are like tiny house guardians. Bureaucracy takes a bit of patience. Visas, extensions, registrations, the paperwork can feel like a puzzle the first time around. It's not scary, just a living curve. Once you understand the process or work with a local agent, it becomes pretty routine. So, interactive. What's one real life things that would make you nervous about living abroad? Drop your answers in the chat. And Bali is not a fantasy, it's a lifestyle. And real life comes with it. These quirks aren't deal breakers, they are part of the adventure. And honestly, they make life here feel more grounded and authentic. The beautiful thing is you adapt faster than you'd ever expect. So guys, don't go anywhere. I'm about to show you what a real Bali morning looks like when your home is both comfort and income. Here is something I observed after years of meeting people from all over the world here in Bali. Everyone's story begins differently, but almost every story ends the same way. People come for beaches, they stay for the way they breathe here. Some arrive for a few months of remote work, imagining it as just another stop on their digital nomad journey. Others land here carrying heartbreak, burnout, or a quiet desire to reset. And some simply want to escape the endless gray skies and cold winters back home. But then something happens. Somewhere between the warm sunrises, the slow morning walks, the casual chats with strangers who feel like friends, and the rhythm of daily life doesn't rush you. Something inside shifts. Your shoulder relaxes, your breath gets deeper. Your mind finally has space to notice the small things again. The sound of waves at night, the smell of incense drifting from a nearby temple, the way the light turns golden just before sunset. So, interactive. Why do you think you would come to Bali? What would draw you here? Work, rest, warmth, adventure? Drop your reasons in the chart. And this is what no travel brochure ever really tells you. This is not just about moving abroad or finding a new base. It's about rediscovering what living well actually looks like. People don't stay because of some grand plan. They stay because Bali has a way of quietly rearranging your rhythm. Bali is not about escaping life, it's about finding a better way to live. So, you know what always makes me smile? Whenever people hear the phrase buying a place in Bali, their minds instantly jump to this dramatic movie plot, selling all their belongings, saying emotional goodbyes, moving across the world to start an entire new life. But here is the truth, that's not how most people actually do it. In reality, what I see here again and again is something way more flexible and honestly way smarter. Some people come for 3 months of sunshine and their house work for them the other time. There are people who gave everything up to move permanently. They are families, couples, freelancers, and retirees who found a rhythm that blend the best of both worlds. Here's how it usually looks. They buy a cozy apartment near beach or a small villa tucked between palm trees. Then instead of relocating full time, they spend a few months a year living here, typically during the European winter, when everything back home is grey, wet, and freezing. Imagine this for a second. It's December. You step off the plane and instead of going to a hotel, you arrive at your own place. You unpack, slide into flip flops, hop on a scooter, and your winter commute becomes a breezy ride through wild streets lined with frangipani trees. You work from a cafe overlooking the ocean, greet the same barista each morning, and end every day watching the sunset melt into the horizon. Your biggest daily decision, nasi goreng or smoothie bowl for lunch. So interactive. If you could spend one season living in Bali, which would you choose? Dry season or rainy season? Drop your answer in the chart. And then when March or April rolls around and Europe starts to warm up, you fly back. You hand your keys to a local property management team and they take over. Your place doesn't sit empty, it turns into a boutique style rental. Tourists arrive for peak season, families on holidays, surfers chasing perfect waves, remote workers seeking sunshine. And while you're sipping coffee back home, your villa is out here earning its keep. It's not about choosing between Europe and Bali, it's about living both. And that's the beauty of it. It's not all or nothing move. You don't have to uproot your entire life. You keep your community, your family, your career, and at the same time you build this second chapter, one that involves sun, ranch mornings, slower living, and a different kind of energy. So for many people, the hybrid rhythm feels natural. It's balanced. It's give you the emotional joy of having a place in paradise while still being practically and financially sensible. And hey, if you're vibing with these Bali lifestyle stories and want to catch the next deep dive, make sure to hit follow. Alright, let's shift the spotlight for a moment and talk about Sanur, a place that's quietly turning into one of the most strategic, comfortable, and forward moving areas on the Bali's east coast. It's not just about postcard sunset and calm water here. Sanur combines old school charm with major new developments, and honestly, that's what makes it so special. Sanur sits on the southeastern coast of Bali, only about 30 minutes from the airport and Denpasar city, which already makes it super convenient for families, frequent travelers, and anyone who doesn't want to spend their halfway in traffic. Historically, Sanur was one of the very first resort towns on the island. Decades later, it still carried that relaxed, welcoming spirit, but now it's evolving. Its coastline stretched from Matahari Turbid in the north down to Murtazari in the south. A beautiful strip lined with quiet beaches, shallow turquoise waters that are perfect for kids, and gentle promenades where locals and expats walk, jog, or ride bicycles in the mornings. The atmosphere, peaceful, walkable, authentic. Think small cafes, local shops, and boutique hotels instead of nightclubs and crowds. Sonora is where the ocean is calm. The mornings are golden and life actually slows down. And here is where it gets really interesting. Sonora is not frozen in time. It's in the middle of transformation that blends infrastructure, health, tourism, and sustainability. In 2025, the Indonesian government officially launched a special economic zone focused entirely on international standard healthcare and wellness. This development includes hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation centers, hotels, and wellness facilities, all designed to make Sanur a global hub for medical tourism and recovery. This shift means the area is not just attracting vacationers, it's drawing professionals, patients, wellness travelers, and long term visitors from around the world. Sonora also has a clear green tourism plan. Authorities are working with local communities and businesses to ensure development happens responsibly, protecting the environment, preserving cultural heritage, and improving public spaces rather than overbuilding. Unlike some other coastal areas, Sanur already has a strong base, international schools nearby, a well-maintained promenade and coastal road for walking and cycling, easy access to Grab, Gojek, and scooters for short trips, a community layout that feels safe, connected, and functional. So, one of Sanur's greatest strengths is how comfortable and family oriented it is. The calm sea, shallow beaches, and slow rhythm make it ideal for children and parents alike. There are kids' cafes, playgrounds, and family amenities, plus neighborhoods that are quiet and walkable. You'll find plenty of restaurants and shops, but none of the chaos of places like Kuta or Seminyak. Expat and local families love it because it gives them the best of both worlds, a relaxed coastal life without feeling isolated. So, Sanur feels like a secret village by the sea, calm, cozy, and connected. So, let's break down why this area is getting so much attention and why many people see it as a smart lifestyle choice. With the SEZ, Sanur is set to become Bali's wellness capital, attracting long stay visitors, professionals, and higher quality infrastructure. Unlike strictly seasonal destinations, Sanur sees steady demand throughout the year thanks to its beaches, events, and family appeal. Historically, Sanur was a center of Balinese art. Painters, artisans, and cultural figures shaped its identity. That artistic soul still lives on. So, sustainability. Strict environmental planning will preserve its green spaces and livability, making it a place where development doesn't destroy the vibe. Locals and expats generally know their neighbors here because it's less chaotic. There is a sense of belonging you don't always find in tourist hotspots. Sonor doesn't like Kangoo. It whispers, and people are starting to listen. If you imagine yourself in Bali and value comfort, community, health, and stable growth, Sonor is absolutely worth keeping on your radar. It's not just a beach town, it's a rising hub with soul. So, when a home becomes part of your rhythm, so you feel like it's all yours. So, friends, just a quick reminder we are talking about life here in Bali, the home, the villas, and how people make them not only cozy but profitable. Stay tuned, I've got more to show you. Here is something I absolutely love about life in Bali. Your home doesn't have to fit into a single box. How many people Here, their property becomes both a deeply personal sanctuary to enjoy and a smart, effortless way to support their lifestyle when you're not on the island. Your winter escape can become your summer side hustle. Picture this: you have a bright, airy apartment just a short walk from the beach. Or perhaps a small villa tucked among palm trees, complete with a pool and outdoor lounge. For a few months each year, typically during Europeans' colder, grayer season, this is where you live. You walk up to the sound of tropical birds instead of car horns. You step outside and feel warm air on your skin. You hop on a scooter, grab a fresh smoothie bowl, and set up your laptop in a cafe with the ocean breeze flowing through. This is not a vacation. This is your everyday life for that season. And then when spring or summer arrives and you fly back home, you don't just lock the door and let the house sit empty. Instead, your place starts welcoming guests. Families escaping their cities for the holidays. Digital nomads settling in for a few months of remote work. Travelers from the opposite hemisphere chasing their own slice of sun. And here is the beauty of it: you're not required to become a hotel manager. You don't need to handle endless messages, coordinate cleaning, or stress about check ins. Bali already has experienced local teams and property managers who take care of every detail: listings, bookings, guest communications, maintenance, cleaning, the whole package. Your home quietly transforms into a seasonal lifestyle business hybrid, working for you while you're thousands of kilometers away. Interactive. If you owned a hotel here, how many months of the year would you personally live in it? Drop your numbers in there. Ciao. And your villa is not just a place to live, it becomes part of your life rhythm. And that's the magic. You don't have to choose between living in paradise and being practical. You can have both: a play that gives you freedom when you're here and support when you're not. So, one of the first questions people ask me is, but what happens when you're not on the island? Who takes care of everything? And honestly, the answer is simpler than most expect. Bell already has an entire system in place for you. You are not running a hotel. A hotel practically runs itself. Over the years, Bali has become one of the most visited destinations in the world. As a result, a whole ecosystem of professional services have evolved. Smooth, reliable, and surprisingly hands-off. Whether you own a beachfront studio or a spacious villa with a pool, you can hand over the keys and trust that everything will continue to run like clockwork while you're thousands of kilometers away. Here's what that looks like in practice. Experienced teams will photograph your home, craft listings, and upload them to Airbnb, Booking.com, and a local booking platform to keep your calendar full. After each stay, cleaners reset the space to hotel level standards, while maintenance crews check the property and fix anything that needs attention. From the first inquiry to the final goodbye, guests are greeted, supported, and managed by local staff. If any issues arise, they are handled on the ground, not by you at 3 a.m. in a different time zone. From paying utility bills to refilling supplies or tending the garden, it's all part of the service. Different owners choose different levels of involvement. Some love to stay connected, approve bookings, and personally select their guests. Others simply hand the property over to a trusted agency with a see you next season attitude. And both approaches work perfectly well. Because Bali has been doing this for years. These systems are not experimental, they are polished. Many agencies have been managing homes for expats and seasonal owners for a decade or more. That's why so many people from abroad feel confident owning property here. They know their home is in good hands, and even when they are not around. Interactive. If it were up to you, would you prefer to manage your place yourself or let a local team handle everything? Type myself or team in the chat. And this is not about micromanaging. It's about creating a system where your home quietly works for you in the backgrounds, stress free. One of the Bali's biggest advantages is the never ending flow of visitors. Unlike places with a tiny peak season, the island draws people year round. That's not hype, it's geography, community, and lifestyle. On Bali, the calendar doesn't close, the guests just change. Here, how it usually works: dry season, April, October, families, vacationers, Australians and Europeans chasing sun, lots of retreats and events. Rainy season, November, March, digital nomads, long stayers, surfers hunting different swells, people escaping winter up north. Many prefer the season: fewer crowds, lush green, softer pace. Each area attracts its own crowd. Sanur for sunrise and families, Uluwatu for cliffs and waves, Canggu for cafes and creative energy, Ubud for jungle, quiet, and yoga. That's why homes really sit empty. The audience simply shifts with the weather. Interactive. Which would you choose? Dry season or rainy season? Vote below. And that's why owners don't obsess over low season. There are always some who wants to be here. Let's get away from theory. Two real examples I've seen. A young couple picked up a 60,000 euros apartment near the beach. Nothing flash. Sunny living room, small kitchen, a balcony where you can hear the ocean at night. They live there December, March. Work remotely, surf, breeze. The rest of the year, it booked for 800 1,000 euro months. Not life-changing money, but it pays for itself and then some: flights, upkeep, scooter, food. Their winter home doesn't sit idle. Story 2. A friend bought a 150,000 euro villa, two bedrooms, pool, open kitchen, thin classic Bali vibe, listed at 100 150 euro per night. High season is almost fully booked. Over a year it brings 25 30,000 euro and they still block 2 3 months for themselves. It's not magic, just a rhythm that makes sense. So guys, if you held 200,000 euros, would you choose villa or bank? Type your answer in the comments. And these are not moguls, they are regular people who wanted their own base and made it sustainable. Let me paint the day you might live. You wake to roosters and soft rustle of palms, bare feet on cool tiles, a quick smoothie on the terrace, morning light wrapped around your little garden, laptop on. Your office is today's choice, a calm co-working space or your favorite coastal cafe. A few focused hours and you take a 2 euro coffee break, grab 5 euro lunch and slide into the pool for 10 minutes. Then finish your tasks. They've got a home by the sea and it practically carries its own weight. Evening arrives, friends stop by, or long stay guests check in to the guest pavilion. The place is lived in and loved, and meanwhile it covers its own costs. This is not fantasy, it's an honest lifestyle model that balances joy and practicality. Interactive. If you woke up in your Bali home tomorrow, what the first thing you do at sunrise? Drop your answers in the chat. And here's a down-to-earth comparison. On Bali, solid apartment 5,800 euro months, scooter 60 euro months, lunch 4 6 euros, coffee 2 euros, ocean view free. In big European cities, rent 1,200 2,000 plus euros. Transit pass 80 100 euros. Lunch 12 15 euros. Coffee 4 6 euros. When your home here also spends part of the year hosting guests, the number doesn't feel heavy. They feel balanced. 2 euro coffee serves with an ocean. This is why you see remote workers, founders, and families splitting the year. Not because it's cheap, but because the value for quality of life makes sense. Interactive. What's a good coffee in your city right now? Tell us, we will tell you the winner. So follow and stick around, guys. Next time I'll show you a full villa walkthrough with real numbers. My favorite part is watching how differently people shape this life. Digital nomads building products from beach cafes, families homeschooling under palm trees, turning the world into a classroom. Entrepreneurs running companies remotely with sunrise stand ups. Retirees finally scheduling sunset as a daily appointment. This is not escape, it's a new format. No one's throwing their old life away. They're adding a second chapter, one where nature, freedom, and common sense meet. Homes here become part sanctuary, part sensible plan. It's not about chasing quick wins, it's about designing a rhythm that actually fits. Interactive. What rhythm would suit you? 3 months, a year, 6 years, full time? Drop in the charts your answer. Alright, friends, that's where I'll wrap things up for today. I really hope this give you a little glimpse into what life here in Bali can feel like. Not just a vacation, but as a rhythm that actually makes sense. You've seen the place, the light, the villas, and hopefully you can tell why so many people decide to make this island part of their lives, even if it's not just a few months or a year. Because here morning starts slow, days flow easily, and somehow life just feels lighter. It's not about escaping somewhere, it's about finally arriving where life feels right. So if you enjoy this little journey, tape, like, or drop emoji in the chart. I always love hearing your thoughts. And make sure to stay around next time. I'll show you more of the villas, the surroundings, and maybe even what daily life looks like behind the scenes. So take care, everyone. Sending you sunshine, calm energy, and maybe a little push to finally make that dream real. So see you soon on Bali. Bye bye.